Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Sharon Matete. I'm an architect, designer, and all-round creative. So this was my first real moment in Lamu. Just watching women walking through the streets and immediately you feel it. The pace is different, nobody's rushing, nobody looks stressed, everything just moves slower, and that already changes how you experience the Lamu. So you're not just passing through, you're actually noticing things. Then of course the doors. If you know me, you know I'm obsessed with details like this. Lamu doors are not just doors. The carvings, the proportions, the framing, everything is intentional. They are cultural markers as much as they are functional elements. You can literally read history through the craftsmanship. And what I love is that they haven't been replaced with something modern and generic. Their identity is still intact. You'll notice mosques keep appearing throughout the island, and I found that really grounding. When we walked towards the ocean and saw fishermen pulling in their nets, it really clicked to me how connected the island is to the sea. And the simplicity reflects in architecture too. Nothing feels over designed or artificial. Even the tuk-tuk, yeah, the tuk-tuks in Lamu, they feel adapted to the environment. The streets are narrow and very pedestrian focused. So movement here is scaled to people, and passing by the Lamu Museum was another reminder of how seriously heritage is preserved here. We also saw the women's mosque, which I found really interesting. It's subtle but significant. It shows how spaces are located socially and culturally, something we don't always think about when designing. Space always reflects value. Walking through the narrow streets, especially where there was construction happening, you really start noticing the passive design strategies, thick walls for insulation, small openings to control heat, the shaded corridors, cross ventilations. These are climate responses that existed long before sustainability became a trend. And even with new construction, the scale is still respected. Nothing feels aggressive or out of place. The outdoor baraza seating might be one of my favorite parts. These built in benches outside homes blur the line between the public and private spaces. So people usually just sit, talk, and observe happenings. Um, yeah, while sitting here. So I feel like that's a very thoughtful design. As we keep walking through the streets, what stood out most was the human scale. There are no overwhelming buildings or like massive heights or like glass facades. I feel like the streets are very walkable and yeah, they breathe. There's a lot of ventilation in those streets, so it makes you realize how intense the city life can be in comparison to Lamu. think one of my favorite experiences was riding the motorbike next to the ocean. This was such a beautiful experience. You move, it basically feels like you move from a very compressed area, tight, narrow streets, to a completely open horizon that transitions from enclosure to openness. This is what makes Lamu so powerful in experience. Taking the boat gave an even clear perspective. From the water, you see how calm the skyline is, and you see how the low rise buildings sit in Lamu. So, historically, coastal towns respected wind patterns and views and material limitations, and you can still see that discipline today. Audio Jungle. And then, of course, sunset. Everything slows down again, the light changes, the ocean reflects gold, conversations soften. No one is rushing to capture the perfect shot. You're just present. And honestly, that's what Lamu does best. It strips things back. So this is the next day. I had henna done on my hands, and I honestly loved how the moment concluded the trip. Sitting still, watching the patterns form slowly, felt aligned with everything Lamu had been teaching me the whole time: patience, detail, craft, culture. So it's basically everything expressed through art. It wasn't just decorative, it felt symbolic, a quiet way of carrying a piece of the island with me. For me, Lamu isn't just aesthetic, it's a lesson in restraint, in climate responsive design, in material honesty, in scale, and preserving identity. It reminds me that architecture doesn't need to be loud to be powerful, and that's something I'm definitely carrying with me into my own work. So that's it for this video. Stick around for the next video of my journey back to Nairobi by bus. And if you like this video, please make sure to like, comment, and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe. See you on the next one. Bye.